An IQ score isn't the whole picture of intelligence. In fact, if you're relying on just a simple number to define a genius, you're entirely missing the hidden and frankly often painful reality of a high-functioning mind.
Even Stephen Hawking himself famously pushed back on the idea that intelligence boils down to a test score. True intelligence? It's unmistakable. It's that raw ability to analyze complex concepts, connect the dots, and build a completely new understanding of the world around us. But here's the catch. Having a brain wired this way isn't exactly the superpower it's cracked up to be.
Let's look at Section 1, the hidden curse of intelligence. Being a genius sounds absolutely fantastic on paper, right? You ace the exams, you innovate, maybe you end up leading entire industries. But the hidden reality behind closed doors? High intelligence often brings intense isolation, deep social awkwardness, and this just overwhelming pressure. In this explainer, we're going to decode the unseen struggles of a highly intelligent mind. We'll look at why they feel so completely disconnected from everyone else, and more importantly, what happens when a brilliant mind actually turns on itself. Moving to Section 2, the social disconnect and that constant feeling of being completely out of place.
You know the old saying, right? Highly intelligent people crave deep, abstract concepts. So chatting about the weather or the neighbor's incredibly tacky new lawn flamingo isn't just boring for them, it literally feels like a soul-draining waste of time. They want to discuss the hidden mechanics of the universe, but dodging that everyday small talk, it creates a massive social gap.
It basically boils down to this. Careful words plus long silences equal social awkwardness. Highly intelligent people usually think way more than they speak. By the time they actually share a thought with you, they've already analyzed it from a dozen different angles. But all that internal processing, it causes these heavy, drawn-out silences in casual conversation. So people just assume they are overly serious, or the genius drops a totally cringe-inducing statement because they completely miss the natural rhythm of the chat.
And this social disconnect really snowballs. Casual situations become so deeply frustrating that they just start skipping events entirely. They retreat. And what do instead? They throw themselves completely into academics or their careers. Just work. But a severely imbalanced life like that is actually super dangerous. That severe lack of social integration inevitably leads to overwork, deep unhappiness, and eventually total burnout. Section 3. The trap of overthinking, where a brilliant mind becomes a mental liability.
But hey, the external struggles? That's really only half the story. The biggest internal roadblock here is paralysis by analysis. It's what happens when a highly intelligent person is literally crippled by the absolute need to find the 100% correct answer. Because they see every single angle, every pro, every con, their brain just gets jammed up. It's like a computer freezing. Too much input completely clogs their output, which breeds this debilitating indecisiveness.
Think of the intelligent brain's diet like this. It's 90% craving new ideas and discoveries, and maybe 10% just tolerating everyday tasks. Their mind constantly has the munchies for new information. Simple chores? They feel like a massive drag because, well, they're already solved problems. So if your brain operates like this, you have to feed that hunger deliberately. This is exactly why investing in high-level skill-building courses or grabbing premium learning tools is just absolutely critical. You literally need complex fuel to stay fulfilled and keep the engine running smoothly.
Now, Section 4. The weight of high expectations and the crushing pressure to succeed.
To borrow a little wisdom from Uncle Ben, with great intelligence comes great expectation. If you're highly intelligent, you feel this intense, relentless pressure to succeed from pretty much everyone around you. When friends casually joke, "Oh, another perfect 4.0?" Or, "Hey, drinks on you for Employee of the Month again," it isn't just a harmless compliment to you. It actually triggers this incredibly demanding voice in your head, insisting that you absolutely must stay at the top, at all times.
And the dark reality of all that pressure? Constantly pushing to prove your intelligence inevitably leads to extreme perfectionism. It breeds this wildly disproportionate fear of failure. At a certain point, you aren't even trying to succeed anymore. You are just desperately running from the terrifying idea of failing and completely losing your core identity as the smart one.
Which brings us to Section 5, the ultimate brain trade-off. It's IQ versus EQ.
So why exactly can someone solve wildly complex physics equations but completely struggle to read a room?
Well, a fascinating 2015 study by Davidson revealed the ultimate psychological trade-off. It turns out people with a very high IQ, the stuff that drives analytical skills and academic achievements, often have a noticeably lower EQ, or emotional intelligence quotient. And EQ is exactly what helps you form relationships. So a huge intellectual capacity frequently comes at the direct cost of social grace. Life is all about trade-offs, right? And honestly, this is a massive one.
Section 6. Finding your true tribe, and why you need to connect with rare minds.
Knowing this trade-off exists brings up a really painful question. Should you just dumb yourself down so you can fit in? Absolutely not. Look, others might villainize you out of pure jealousy, but at the end of the day, only you validate who you are. The truth is, people are often intimidated by high intelligence. Their instant defense mechanism is just to avoid the smartest person in the room. But hear this, you are not broken just because intimidated people decide to pull away.
Do not dumb it down. Instead, you've got to find your true crowd. Seek out your specific intelligence sphere and connect with those rare, like-minded individuals who naturally operate on your wavelength. Trust me, they are out there. This is exactly why joining high-value private networking groups or exclusive masterminds can be totally life-changing for highly intelligent people. It allows you to stop trying to forcefully jam yourself into the wrong puzzle, and instead, you start building a completely new one.
So, the question is, will you dumb it down or will you find your crowd? It's time to fully embrace your high-performance mind. Stop apologizing for how your brain works, stop suffering through that soul-crushing, mind-numbing small talk, and take immediate action today to find the sphere where your intelligence is the baseline, not some kind of weird anomaly.